Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to bring to you Dr. Bilal Beckles. Everybody, Dr. Beckles is a dentist. Dr. Bilal, you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Well, yeah, I am a dentist. I am a dentist. I see that here, Beta Gamma. Shout out to Beta Gamma, Virginia State University.
Isn't about that. What Dr. Bilal is here to talk about is proper usage of masks now during this whole COVID-19 outbreak. People are wearing lots of different types of masks, but not all of them are going to be effective in blocking or stopping the spread of this virus. So, Dr. Bilal, I'm sorry, Dr. Bilal, that's like the most old person name. Dr. Bilal. I wouldn't want you working on my TV. It was just Dr. Bilal. It's too informal. Dr. Beckles. I apologize. Respect. Dr. Beckles, what type of things would you advise for and against? And I'm sorry, what actually gives you any type of credence to talk about masks?
Yeah. Why am I even talking about any of this stuff?
What's your credibility?
Well, actually, my name is Bilal Beckles. I'm a prosthodontist. That's a specialty of dentistry that we go 3 more years, get our master's, and specializing in a particular area or a particular field of our of dentistry itself. Like, orthodontists do braces, you got endodontists that do root canals. Well, prosthodontists, what we do are in a basic way to put it is we rebuild and restore and replace tooth structure that's lost so that we can regain form and function and different things of that nature. So you have smiles, you have anything to replace and rebuild a tooth. When you think about veneers, you think about crown and bridge, dentures, implants, what's lost, we put back.
Okay. But what about the mask, Bilal? What about the mask?
Now, how does that work in what we do? Well,
what do y'all learn about masks? Like, what is that? Why is that important?
Well, but the thing about masks, we wear them all the time. I've been wearing masks for over 20 years now, and there's a big misconception and kind of like this false sense of protection that people are getting with these types of masks. So if you look at the N95 masks that have the little valve on the front and they fit firmly around, not that one. Mm-hmm. Not that one. That's a surgical fitting mask.
That is good. It's kind of like a little cloth. But it's a lot of people are getting these types of things, online. It's got like regular, like a cloth type of material, I guess cotton. Would this stop a virus?
No, it won't. A virus is a microscopic particle. There's like trillions of them on your body, and around and in the air.
Don't scare the people, man. Don't scare the people.
No, but most of them actually they don't affect us. They pass right through our systems. We don't even notice it. We don't get any reactions. Mm-hmm. But this COVID-19 is a nasty little one right there. Because they're microscopic and they directly affect the respiratory system. So that's why this thing is moving around at the pace that it is, because we don't naturally have defenses against something that we haven't met before. So when you think about how people get vaccinations, so when we get a vaccination for the flu, we are introducing flu-like. Well, it's actually a deactivated type of the virus itself, so that our body can start to recognize, oh, this is the virus, build a defense. And so the next time that it comes around, you still get it, but it's not as severe, or you may not, the symptoms may not even manifest themselves. So you're like, hey, well, I didn't get this year.
Right, being asymptomatic is the thing.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's a virus, like herpes simplex, like AIDS and HIV and chickenpox, those types of things. So once you get them, you have them. You have them forever. That's just what it is. So it's not to scare people, but the thing is, will you get it? Well, there's over, I think, 800,000 now in the United States that are infected. Now, is that an accurate number? Absolutely not, because that would mean that you would need to have 800,000 people who live by themselves. They don't go to work, they don't have friends or family, they don't socialize, they never go out their house. How likely is that? It's
That's
very unlikely.
not very.
So then you can probably calculate it that those 700,000 had family members and friends and loved ones that they were in contact before they went into the hospital. So you can, what, 2, 3, 4 times the amount? But it just doesn't affect everybody in the same way. Those who have what are called comorbidities, so they have additional illnesses like obesity, diabetes, respiratory illnesses like emphysema and sleep apnea and all of those different ones. You're more susceptible to a more severe reaction because your system is compromised to begin with. So that's what people are now.
I can't help but feel as though my question was not answered. What can people put on their face to be safe? What
Well,
is the mask?
oh, okay. So let's go back to
what does that look like? What does that feel like? You know what?
So with the mask, we talking about it being microscopic. A lot of people I see doing these woven type and these material type masks, similar to what you have. But you have to think this is woven, so this is like a highway for something that is microscopic. It can clearly pass through all of those areas. So is it more for you to defend you against any microbes? Not really. It's supposed to kind of keep what you have from spreading out.
Okay,
But
other people's protection.
exactly. And it does help, but it's not 100%.
So just to be clear, wearing the cloth mask that people are making at home is good because it stops you from possibly infecting others.
Yes and no. Because again, if you have it, it's going to pass through. And look at the mask. When you try the mask on, matter of fact, let me grab a mask so you can see.
Okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna pause it. Hold on.
You ready?
All right, that was like magic. It's like a freeze. It's like, he's back with a mask in his hand. All right, so what does this look like?
The standard surgical mask, okay?
All right, can you hold it closer to the camera?
Okay, can you see it?
So
this is purple, white. The darker side is usually on the outside, and then it has metal at the top. The metal is to pinch around your nose, right? So, but if I put this on, I know because I use these every day. If I put this on, one, you have air passage right here, even if you move. And as you can see, when I talk, it's moving. Then we have vents on the side also. So what I'm creating when I'm talking is a vacuum, right? And almost like a valve. So every time that I'm breathing in and breathing out, I'm saturating the mask more with saliva.
Right, the mist.
Now, as you can see, I have a beard. That doesn't work in this. Sorry, beard gang and everything. I had.
I gotta mock the beard gang people, y'all. Forget the beard gang people. Hold on, beard gang. Look at this. I never had it, so I don't care. All right. Wow. But you have a beard, so
if you do have a beard, no mask works with the beard because, as you can see, you're not going to get a complete seal around. So if you have to work in an environment that's the infection rate is high, you need to shave. Unfortunately, you need to take it down. And this right here is bugging me out because I had a full beard. You remember that joint was like down to here.
I don't pay attention to you.
Yeah. It's sad now. It's sad. But if I have to, once they call me to the front line, then I'll have to shave in order to use a mask properly. So to answer the question, are these effective only for you, to help prevent you from spreading too much to others? But here's another problem. I see a lot of people doing this. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, no, you know what? Yeah, and so all of this touching, this is saturated now with your saliva. And
Hmm.
any infection or any bacteria and virus. So every time I do this, I'm touching it. Every time I do this, every time I move it, I'm moving around all of those particles, right?
Transferring it to your hands,
And
onto
my
other
hands
parts
and
of your face.
everywhere else. So it's when you do things like these, how effective are they? It's about as effective as you are with keeping yourself, keeping your hands clean, just keeping your whole situation in order.
So, just for the record, you cannot just put a sock on there. Huh? Okay,
No,
sanitary napkin.
they making these nice stylish ones, and they're wearing them in the pictures like this under their nose. It makes absolutely no sense.
Right, because you got to get this. You got to get this part.
Yeah, you got to get that part. You literally want to tape the whole thing around, to be honest. If we're going to talk about sealing that off, but most people don't function like that. Like I wear these, we wear these, and so we're more comfortable with walking around and breathing and talking in these, whereas other people are not.
All right, so if a person does have these masks, because everybody's going to have them, it is a little bit better so that you don't spread your infection. But what about like if they're painted, like if they've got paint on them, that's got to close the holes a little bit, right?
No, because
Daughter, by the way, my 9-year-old asked this question. That's for you, Baney. There
no, no,
you
no, no, no.
go.
That's a good question. That's a good question. But you have to understand that, especially with these type, the air is going to take the path of least resistance, right? So anywhere that it's open, it's vented, it's going to pull in. So if you even seal this and tape this all off, you're not going to be breathing straight through. You're going to be breathing out the sides.
Right.
So does any of that stuff help? No, not really. Not really.
All right. I think it does. It's got. I mean, because if you can't, it's got to be less getting in. I mean, I don't know what the percentages would be. It's not gonna be like you safe.
Yeah.
It's
It's
safe
less
for
getting
her.
in, but it's almost like what is that like? It, it's dangerous. It's like lambskin condoms versus
Okay, this is for the kids. This is for the kids.
oh,
So, so
so
could they wash? Could they have these masks and wash the mask and
okay.
feel like they are, being safe?
These no, these are one-time use.
Okay.
If you throw them out because by the end of the day they're saturated with your saliva and all the bacteria and stuff in your mouth,
Uh,
right? Whatever is on the outside if you were close enough to people. So you throw these out just like you throw out gloves. I see people taking these, they put them in their pocket,
yeah,
they take off,
gloves. Gloves. What about the gloves?
take them off, take them off. Like think about the gloves. See again, bad reference, but latex
Just don't
gloves,
make it.
non-latex gloves.
If it's a bad reference, just don't make it.
If you, did you ever put one back on? That's the question. Would you? Like you don't. You,
Facts. Okay. All right. I feel like that did drive a point home, though. You wouldn't reuse a prophylactic. Right. Well,
exactly.
thank you very much, man, for spending your time with me. Shout out to Virginia State. Like I said, shout out to Alpha Phi Alpha.
Virginia State, Beta Gamma, Alpha Phi Alpha chapter. Shout out to Howard University.
Right. Okay. Howard Dental School. That's not what this is about, but all right.
I got
No, HU Dental. There you go. Boom. Shot pride. Well, I don't know what y'all say there. What do y'all say there? We're better than you.
you know my love is always.
The HU call. We're better than you.
I'm a Trojan bison lion, so that's how it goes.
You got all of that in you, man. Pick an animal. Pick a mascot. All right, enough of this. Signing off. I'm Kiragu. This is Dr. Bilal Beckles. Peace.